News 25 is brought to you by Golden Casino Group, where you'll always find great fun, good food, and fantastic entertainment, all at Gold Town, Lakeside, and the Pahrump Nugget. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
What's your New Year's resolution? And NHP says fatal crashes, fortunately, are down slightly. News 25 starts now.
This is News 25 with Eunette Gentry. News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
News 25 takes to the streets to ask our question of the day. It's Wednesday, January 2nd, 2020. Well, Deanna and Alice stopped by Walmart this morning to ask area residents, what is your New Year's resolution?
I'm standing here in front of Walmart with Alice and Thomas, and we are asking people the question of the day, which is, what's your New Year's resolution?
I really don't have them, because if you do have one, you never stick to it in the first place.
To be a better parent.
How are you going to do that?
Spend more time with my kids.
To find a better job and to find a girl that really loves me.
To start walking.
Oh yeah, how are you going to start doing that?
Some of this, I already did it yesterday. There's a little path around my house, used to be a golf course, and I'm doing it right there.
So why get them? You just break them anyway, so why have them?
Have you had any in the past?
No.
My New Year's resolution is to be more open and loving to everyone I meet.
And how will you do that?
Just by being myself, being more allowing and meeting people where they are in their life and just giving them a smile and a compliment.
How did you come about that you needed to do this?
Well, it wasn't so much that I needed to do it, but I don't think there's enough of it going on in the world today. You know, people aren't being kind to each other, and they're not helping people out, they're not helping each other out. And I thought, hey, if I can do a little bit to add some of that to somebody's life, then that would be great.
First of all, to get healthy, happy, and lose 30 pounds.
How are you going to do that?
Stay on my program. I've already lost 60, so
wow.
I want to lose 30 more. I use my MyFitnessPal on my phone, and I keep track of all my calories that I eat.
To get good grades.
Yeah, to get good grades.
How are you going to do that?
By working harder in school and paying attention.
Thomas the dog says that in the coming year, he plans on being more involved in his brother Bradley's life. What's your New Year's resolution?
My New Year's resolution would be to keep a low profile.
You're on TV right now. How low profile is that?
And for the year of 2019, NHP's Southern Command says that fatal traffic crashes resulting in deaths is slightly down. The fatality number is slightly lower than the 2018 numbers of 65 fatal crashes resulting in 70 deaths. Now, while numbers for 2019 might be slightly lower than 2018, there's no time for celebration. Law enforcement and the community still have plenty of work to do. One life lost on our roadways is far too many, and we know by now that almost every single traffic fatality is preventable. Every year, more and more vehicles are actually taking to Nevada's roadways, and our population continues to grow. The Nevada Highway Patrol is committed to the goal of 0 fatalities, and our troopers work tirelessly to ensure the safety of our motoring public. In 2019, our troopers made nearly 90,000 traffic stops in Southern Command alone. Troopers make thousands of contacts a day with motorists promoting safety on our roadways. Traditionally, our fatal crashes tend to be 30% speed related, 30% impairment related, and 30% occupant restraint related. we need communities to help NHP make our roads even safer. Our community needs to continue to always buckle up. Make sure that you're driving sober each and every time, and make sure you're driving the speed limit, and put your phones and cell phones down while you are on the roads. Remember that reporting an emergency or an impaired driver can exempt you from that cell phone law, however. Motorists can call 911 or NHP from their cell phone. And stay tuned, News 25 will be right back with much more local news.
You're watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, a man suspected of being an undocumented immigrant is under arrest and facing several charges, including attempted murder.
Christian Sanchez Castellano was taken into custody after a shooting in Amargosa Valley. Now he's facing charges including attempted murder with a deadly weapon, battery with a deadly weapon, assault with a deadly weapon, discharging a gun where a person might be, use or possession of drug paraphernalia, and owning or possessing a gun by an illegal alien. A female was shot in the leg outside a trailer on Powerline Road December 17th. She and her twin sister then fled in their car and went to a friend's house to call for help. They described the shooter to officers and told them the gunman was wearing a white shirt and red shoes. When officers arrived at the scene of the shooting, no one was inside the trailer home, but a tip led officers to a trailer 2 doors down. Inside, they found Sanchez Castellano and took him into custody. He was immediately identified by his shoes and hairstyle. Detectives later executed a search warrant at both trailer homes, and evidence was collected. Officers found no valid government ID for Sanchez Castellano, only a Mexico consulate card, which detectives say is consistent with being an illegal alien. Sanchez Castellano was arrested and transported to jail without incident.
And a man from California is also under arrest facing several charges in connection with a stabbing here in Pahrump. Originally, it was reported as a self-inflicted wound by a pregnant female. However, her ex-boyfriend has now been arrested.
This was the scene December 23rd at Preferred RV Park as a woman was being treated for a stab wound. She was later flown to University Medical Center in Las Vegas. When responding to that stabbing, officers contacted Gary Case, who stated that his live-in girlfriend, who was pregnant, had stabbed herself in the stomach after a verbal argument. While conducting a records check, officers learned that Case had 4 active statewide extradition warrants out of Nevada Highway Patrol for various traffic offenses. Case was then placed under arrest. When officers searched him, they found a white substance which testing revealed to be methamphetamine. A records check also revealed that the stabbing victim had obtained a protection order against Case in Vacaville, California. Case was transported to the Nye County Detention Center without incident. Today, he faces charges of assault with a deadly weapon, violating a domestic violence extended protection order, trafficking a Schedule I controlled substance, and 4 counts of being wanted on warrants out of another agency.
And an Arizona man is also arrested, facing several charges after being stopped for driving his off-road vehicle here in Pahrump.
Kelly Pert was arrested December 18th after driving his off-road vehicle down Pahrump Valley Boulevard. Today, he's not only facing a charge for operating that vehicle on an undesignated paved roadway, but also charges of carrying a concealed firearm without a permit and possession of a stolen firearm. An officer initially stopped Pert to advise him that he couldn't drive his vehicle on a paved roadway. In his report, the officer said Pert was acting strangely. Pert was detained after spending an extended period of time reaching around his pockets and waistband to retrieve his ID. Pert then admitted he had a firearm on his person. After being handcuffed, the officer was able to retrieve the firearm from his waistband. Pert later admitted that he did not have a concealed carry weapons permit, and a records check of the gun's serial number indicated the firearm was stolen out of Las Vegas. Pert was taken into custody and transported to the Nye County Detention Center.
And Nye County commissioners are looking at how they can improve our health care. All that and more when News 25 returns.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyers, Nye County's injury attorneys. Don't get bullied by insurance companies. Call Jason Ernest and bully them back at 775-727-9500.
Welcome back. Well, we're going to tell you about this week's Ace Country Contest winner. It is Brooke Reddington. She won a $25 gift card from Arnie's Cocktail Lounge. And Brooke is still eligible to win in the big drawing that will be January 15th for either Aerosmith or Doobie Brothers concert tickets. You can still enter to win that grand prize at Arnie's, The Hideaway, Who's Dunes, Old West Market, the Stage Stop, and Subway. And last week's winner was Brandy Flint. She won a dinner for two at Who's Dunes. And turning back to other local news, Nye County commissioners are investigating how well ambulance services are providing needed medical assistance.
This needs assessment was requested by the board, I think, at one of the November meetings, and Commissioner Blundo requested an update during our last BOCC meeting. So after the board approved moving forward with a needs assessment, I was contacted by the hospital and said, hey, we are actually in the process of doing our every 2-year community health needs assessment, and I wonder if this is something that we could work into ours, and we're already paying for it, and so you wouldn't have any costs associated with it. And I said, well, that sounds like a great idea. So John Packham is who they are contracting with. He is with the University of Reno. UNR does needs assessments all the time, community needs assessments. And so what I did was I forwarded him the study that we've located that was done back in 2004. It was done by the Aberis Group, and he said he would look at that and determine if, and he thinks it would work to be able to work that into his community assessment that he's already doing with the hospital. As an alternative, I also contacted the Aberis Group that did the study back in 2004. They indicated that they charged us $25,000 at the time and would be willing to update or refresh the study for that same cost.
One of my concerns with this needs assessment is that we're trying to piggyback with the hospital. This needs assessment is just say if we need the ambulance, correct, for us, separate than with the hospital, or maybe, am I missing something here?
So it's not for us, and it's a community needs assessment, community health needs assessment that the hospital is contracting out to do. So it's not just specific to the hospital's operations. It's looking at the overall health needs of the community, which is something that they're required to do as a rural hospital. So I wouldn't say that it's specifically just benefiting or focused on Desert View Hospital. It's looking at the community as a whole and determining whether the community's needs are being met.
Are we thinking that UNR is not going to be able to provide us with a good enough assessment that we need to go and finance another assessment? Is there a question to the UNR's?
I just worry about, they have a goal. They're working on a community health needs assessment, and it's for the hospital. That's something they already have to provide us. We're just trying to piggyback our needs assessment, but our needs assessment is separate and technically different. I think we need to move forward one way or the other. I have one goal. I want to have more healthcare options and services in this community. I want to be able to go from the college and have the students there have an opportunity to get into the workforce here. I want our kids to have an option to stay here into this community. I have a really good vision with this. Whether it's one vendor or another, I'm looking at the big picture here, and I'm trying to bring more medical, employ our kids into this community. So that's my vision.
All right, now Darby O'Donnell's bringing us a dog available for adoption right now.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Brian. Brian is a 3-year-old Mastiff mix. He is a gorgeous dog. He is actually kind of like a champagne-y beige color all over, and then it fades into a little bit of a white color. He does have some darker markings on his face and big, beautiful brown eyes. He has a very, very sweet and loving personality. Super duper immediately just came up and started giving me lugs and jumping on my lap and everything. So cute. Come and see him and all of his friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society. They're on Syrian Lane behind the Nye County Courthouse. You can give them a call at 775-751-7020. You can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society or go online to deserthavenas.org.
Now here's Josh with your tech tip.
Reporting from my man cave, it's Josh from Pahrumph's own Great Computer Deals, and it's time for another quick tutorial.
If you guys are like me, you like to keep up with the headlines, so you open up your browser, you're scrolling through, but there's a little bit of a problem, isn't there? It's that print. It's so darn small. Who could be expected to read that? Well, let's be honest, our eyes are not getting any better, so what do? Well, I got a nice little trick for you that you're gonna love. All you gotta do is press and hold down the control key on your keyboard, and while you're pressing that down, use the scroll wheel on your mouse to scroll up. As you're doing that, you're gonna notice that the print gets much, much larger. Way easier to read. Of course, if you wanna go backwards, press and hold down the control key, scroll down, and it returns to normal size.
Still need help? Come to our store where you'll find low prices and friendly faces. We're located at 1190 East Highway 372, or call us at 775-990-8833.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, let's take a look through our weather cam at what conditions were like earlier today. And we'll take a closer look at the forecast for our first week and first weekend of 2020 next.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
All right, let's take a look at our highs and lows across the Silver State on this second day of the year. Las Vegas tops out at 61 with a low of 38. Death Valley's high 73 with a low of 47. Amargosa's high 60 then drops to 37 overnight. Beatty's high 57 with a low of 35. Goldfield tops out at 46, then drops 20 degrees for a low of 26 overnight. Tonopah tops out at 44 with a low of 25. Carson City's high 51 with a low of 27. Both Fallon and Fernley top out at 50. Fallon drops to 25 and Fernley drops to 27 overnight for the low. And it's currently 54 degrees and sunny in Pahrump. Our high today, 59. Winds are out of the north-northwest at 12 miles per hour with humidity at 30%. Sunrise was at 6:55 a.m. And tonight will be mostly clear with a low of 36. Winds will be out of the east-northeast at 5 miles per hour. Humidity increases to 54%. Sunset was at 4:40 p.m. And looking ahead to our 7-day forecast, the first weekend of 2020 will be mostly cloudy with a high of 58 on Friday, low of 39. Saturday and Sunday's high will be 61 with Saturday dropping down to 38 for the low. Then Sunday's temperatures dip even more to 35 even though it will be mostly sunny. The beginning of our first full work week of 2020 will start off sunny on Monday with a high of 58, low of 33. Then the clouds will slowly roll back in on Tuesday and Wednesday with a high of 57, low of 38 on Tuesday, and it will be mostly cloudy on Wednesday with a high of 54, low of 33. But then the sun creeps back out, approaching the weekend on Thursday with a high of 51, low of 33. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Eunette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we will see you again tomorrow. Good night.